The air on planet Namek was thick with tension as Goku hovered above the cracked terrain, his orange gi fluttering in the eerie green glow of the alien sky. The scouter on his left eye beeped relentlessly, its digital display flickering as it struggled to process the sheer magnitude of energy radiating from his body. Across from him, Frieza's smug grin faltered for the first time, his tail twitching in irritation. "Impossible," the tyrant hissed, his voice dripping with venom. "A lowly Saiyan shouldn't be able to reach such power." Goku clenched his fists, his muscles tensing as he channeled the energy of the Kaioken. A crimson aura flared around him, crackling like wildfire. "You've hurt too many people, Frieza," he growled, his voice laced with determination. "This ends now." With a sudden burst of speed, he vanished, reappearing in front of Frieza before the tyrant could react. His fist connected with Frieza's gut, sending shockwaves through the air as the tyrant doubled over, coughing violently. Frieza retaliated with a vicious backhand, but Goku ducked, his movements fluid and precise. He countered with a spinning kick to Frieza's ribs, the impact echoing like thunder. The tyrant skidded backward, his claws digging into the ground to steady himself. His eyes narrowed. "You're faster than I expected," he admitted, though his tone was still laced with arrogance. "But speed alone won't save you." With a flick of his wrist, Frieza unleashed a barrage of purple energy blasts. Goku weaved between them effortlessly, his scouter calculating the trajectories in real time. One blast grazed his shoulder, but he gritted his teeth and powered through, his aura burning brighter. "Kaioken! Times 10, he roared. His body surged with energy, the ground beneath him cracking under the sheer force. The scouter's display spiked, 18,000. Frieza's eyes widened. 18,000? He spat, his composure cracking. "No. That's not possible." Goku didn't give him time to recover. He lunged forward, delivering a devastating uppercut that sent Frieza soaring into the sky. Before the tyrant could stabilize himself, Goku teleported above him, slamming both fists down like a hammer. Frieza crashed into the earth, sending a plume of dust and debris into the air. But the battle was far from over. Frieza emerged from the crater, his pristine white armor now cracked and scorched. His lips curled into a snarl. "You'll pay for that, monkey," he seethed. His body began to shimmer, his power level escalating rapidly. Goku's scouter beeped frantically, the numbers climbing beyond comprehension. As Frieza's transformation reached its peak, Goku braced himself. The real fight was just beginning. The air crackled with energy as Goku's scarlet aura flared, the scouter on his temple beeping frantically. 18,000. No, 20,000? Impossible. The alien warrior snarled, stumbling back as the ground beneath them trembled. Goku grinned, his muscles straining under the weight of the 10x Kaioken's power. "You ain't seen nothin' yet," he taunted, vanishing in a blur of motion. His fist collided with the invader's gut, sending him rocketing through a crumbling mountainside. But before Goku could press his advantage, the sky darkened, a massive warship descended, its shadow swallowing the battlefield. A new voice boomed from above, dripping with arrogance. "Pathetic. Did you think this was just about Earth?" The hatch opened, revealing a towering figure clad in battle-worn armor. His crimson eyes locked onto Goku. "I am General Zurok of the Blood Legion, and your planet is now a testing ground for our new weapon." Vegeta, who had been watching from the sidelines, scoffed. Another fool seeking an early grave. But then his scouter beeped, Zurok's power level spiked erratically, far beyond anything they'd faced. Krillin paled. "Goku, we've got company, and they're not playing around." The ground erupted as Zurok's elite soldiers landed, each radiating malice. One, a lithe assassin with twin blades, lunged at Piccolo. Their swords clashed against his armed guards, sparks flying as Piccolo barely parried. "Fast," he grunted, countering with a sudden energy blast that carved a trench through the earth. The assassin flipped over it, laughing. "You'll need more than cheap tricks, Namekian." Meanwhile, Tien and Krillin fought back-to-back against a brutish warrior wielding a spiked mace. "He's strong, but slow," Tien yelled, dodging a crushing blow that split the ground. Krillin nodded, launching a Kienzan, only for the warrior to catch it mid-air and crush it in his grip. "What?" Krillin gasped. The brute grinned. "Cute." Goku, still locked in combat with Zurok, realized the stakes had just skyrocketed. Every punch he threw was met with equal force, their clashes sending shockwaves that leveled nearby forests. Zurok smirked. "You're strong, monkey, but can you handle this?" His body shimmered, splitting into 3 identical copies. Goku's eyes widened. "After images?" "No, they're real." The trio attacked in unison, forcing Goku on the defensive. Just as it seemed hopeless, a familiar energy signature flared. Vegeta swooped in, blasting one clone apart with a Gallic gun. "Don't get careless, Kakarot," he barked. Goku grinned. "About time you joined the party." Together, they fought back to back, their rivalry momentarily set aside. Vegeta's ruthless precision complemented Goku's adaptability, and for a moment, Zurok's confidence wavered. But then the sky split open, a black hole-like vortex formed, and from it emerged a figure Goku recognized instantly. "Frieza?" he gasped. The tyrant floated down, his tail flicking lazily. "Oh? Did you miss me, Saiyan?" His presence sent a chill through the battlefield. Zurok snarled. "You weren't summoned, freak," Frieza chuckled. "I go where I please. And today, I'll finish what I started." The heroes now faced two threats, Zurok's Blood Legion and Frieza's return. Piccolo, panting, muttered, "This just went from bad to worse." Goku clenched his fists. "We don't have a choice. We fight them all." As Frieza raised a hand, charging a death beam aimed at Goku's heart, time seemed to slow. The battle for Earth had just become a war, and the real fight was only beginning. The air crackled with tension as Goku adjusted the scouter over his eye, its digital display flickering to life. The barren wasteland stretched endlessly around him, the remnants of their last battle still smoldering in the distance. Vegeta stood a few feet away, his arms crossed, watching with narrowed eyes. "This had better work, Kakarot," he muttered. Goku clenched his fists, feeling the familiar surge of energy as he channeled the 10x Kaioken. His muscles burned, his veins bulging under the strain, but the scouter's number skyrocketed, 180,000. A grin split his face. "We've got this," he said, his voice strained but confident. Suddenly, the ground trembled. A shadow loomed over them, and from the dust emerged Frieza, his tail flicking lazily, a smirk playing on his lips. "How adorable," he sneered. "You actually think a cheap trick like that will save you?" Goku's scouter beeped frantically, but the numbers were erratic, jumping wildly. Something was wrong. Before he could react, Frieza vanished, reappearing behind him with a vicious kick that sent Goku crashing into a cliffside. Rocks rained down as he struggled to rise, his vision blurring. Vegeta lunged at Frieza, but the tyrant caught his fist effortlessly, twisting his arm with a sickening snap. Vegeta's scream echoed across the battlefield. Goku's heart pounded. This wasn't just strength, Frieza was toying with them. Then, the scouter's voice crackled in his ear, a distorted message from Bulma. "Goku. The scouter. It's been hacked. Frieza's been feeding you false readings." His blood ran cold. The 180,000 was a lie. Frieza's power was beyond anything they'd imagined. Desperation clawed at Goku as he watched Vegeta crumple to the ground, his pride shattered along with his arm. Frieza stepped forward, his tail wrapping around Vegeta's throat, lifting him effortlessly. "You Saiyans are all the same," Frieza mused. "So eager to fight, so blind to your own weakness." Vegeta's eyes met Goku's, and for the first time, Goku saw something he'd never expected: fear. A surge of rage ignited within him. He wouldn't let this happen. Not again. Goku pushed himself up, his body screaming in protest, and charged. Frieza barely glanced his way, flicking a finger. A blast of energy sent Goku skidding backward, his armor scorched. But this time, he didn't stop. He feinted left, then ducked under Frieza's next strike, driving his fist into the tyrant's gut. Frieza's smirk faltered for a split second, just enough for Goku to grab Vegeta and yank him free. They landed hard, gasping for breath. "We can't beat him like this," Goku admitted, his voice raw. Vegeta coughed blood, his pride warring with the truth. "Then what's your plan, Kakarot?" Goku's mind raced. They needed something more, something beyond the Kaioken. His gaze drifted to the horizon, where the last remnants of Namek's sun dipped low. "We buy time," he said. "Until the others get here." Frieza's laughter cut through the air. "Time? You think I'll let you delay the inevitable?" He raised a hand, a sphere of crimson energy forming above his palm. The ground quaked as the attack grew, the sheer pressure of it forcing Goku and Vegeta to their knees. This was it. Then, a streak of light cut through the sky. A blast struck Frieza's arm, disrupting his attack. Goku turned to see Piccolo landing beside them, his cloak billowing. "Took you long enough," Vegeta spat, but relief flickered in his eyes. Piccolo's expression was grim. "We're not winning this with brute force," he said. "We need to outthink him." Frieza's irritation flashed across his face. "More pests?" He lunged, but Piccolo was ready, weaving through his strikes with precision. Goku seized the moment, charging again, this time aiming for Frieza's tail. If they could immobilize it. A sharp pain exploded in his side. Frieza's knee drove into his ribs, sending him sprawling. The scouter shattered against the rocks, its broken pieces reflecting the chaos. Goku gasped, his vision swimming. They were running out of options. Then, Vegeta did the unthinkable. With a roar, he unleashed every ounce of his remaining energy into a single, blinding blast, not at Frieza, but at the ground beneath them. The explosion rocked the battlefield, sending debris flying. Frieza staggered, momentarily disoriented. Goku understood instantly. This wasn't an attack, it was a distraction. As the dust cleared, he saw Vegeta's hand gripping Frieza's ankle, his other arm limp at his side. Now, Kakarot, he bellowed. Goku didn't hesitate. He channeled every last drop of his power, the Kaioken burning through him like wildfire. This was their only shot. He rocketed forward, his fist glowing with energy, and drove it straight into Frieza's chest. The impact sent a shockwave rippling across the planet. For a moment, Frieza's eyes widened in genuine surprise. Then, he laughed. Impressive, he croaked, blood trickling from his lips. But did you really think it would be that easy? Goku's stomach dropped. Frieza's hand clamped around his throat, lifting him off the ground. His vision darkened at the edges as Frieza's grip tightened. You fought well, Frieza whispered. But this is the end. Just as the world began to fade, a voice echoed in Goku's mind, King Kai's warning from long ago. There's always another way. And then, the sky split open. The battlefield trembled as Goku's crimson aura flared violently, his muscles straining under the immense pressure of the 10x Kaioken. The scouter on his temple crackled with erratic readings, struggling to process his skyrocketing power level, 180,000. Across from him, Vegeta's lips curled into a savage grin, his own energy surging in response. Pathetic, the Saiyan prince spat, though his eyes betrayed a flicker of unease. No monkey tricks will save you now. Goku launched forward, a blur of motion, his fist aimed at Vegeta's ribs. The prince barely twisted away, retaliating with a vicious knee to Goku's gut. The impact sent shockwaves through the air, but Goku gritted his teeth, absorbing the pain. He countered with a spinning kick, forcing Vegeta to block, only for the prince to teleport behind him in a flash. A crushing elbow slammed into Goku's spine, driving him into the ground. Dust erupted as Goku rolled, barely avoiding Vegeta's follow-up energy blast, a searing beam that carved a molten trench through the earth. Panting, Goku forced himself upright. His body screamed from the Kaioken strain, but he couldn't afford to falter. Vegeta wasn't holding back, and neither could he. Channeling his ki, Goku vanished, reappearing above Vegeta in a split second. Kamehameha, he began, but Vegeta was already moving, intercepting him mid-air with a brutal punch to the jaw. Blood sprayed as Goku reeled, yet he refused to drop his stance. With a roar, he unleashed the wave point blank. The blue energy erupted between them, engulfing both warriors in a cataclysmic explosion. The shockwave hurled them apart. Vegeta skidded across the battlefield, his armor scorched, while Goku crashed through a cliffside, rubble burying him. For a moment, silence reigned, until the rocks erupted outward, Goku emerging with his aura blazing fiercer than ever. His scouter shattered from the overload, but he didn't need it. He could feel Vegeta's energy, volatile and unrelenting. The prince wiped blood from his lip, his smirk returning. You're tougher than I expected, Kakarot. But let's see how long that lasts. With a sudden burst, he closed the distance, fists a storm of relentless strikes. Goku blocked, dodged, countered, each movement sharpened by instinct. Yet Vegeta's speed was overwhelming. A feint left Goku open, and Vegeta's palm slammed into his chest. Galick Gun, he bellowed. Purple energy engulfed Goku, the force threatening to atomize him. But in that instant, he adapted. Drawing on every ounce of will, he forced his arms forward, his own ki flaring gold. Kaioken. Times 20. The red aura detonated outward, his power spiking beyond reason. With a deafening cry, he pushed against the Galick Gun, the beams colliding in a blinding stalemate. The ground beneath them liquefied, the sky split by the clash of energies. Vegeta's eyes widened. Impossible. He snarled, pouring everything into his attack. But Goku, muscles tearing, bones creaking, inched forward. His vision blurred, but his resolve didn't waver. With one final, earth-shattering scream, he overpowered the Galick Gun, the combined force rocketing toward Vegeta. The prince barely raised his arms in defense before the explosion consumed him, the shockwave leveling miles of terrain. As the dust settled, Goku collapsed to one knee, his body spent. The Kaioken faded, leaving him trembling. But Vegeta still stood, barely. His armor was in tatters, his breath ragged. Yet his pride burned undiminished. "You filthy low-class warrior," he wheezed. "I won't lose to you." Gathering the last of his strength, he lunged. Goku met him head-on. Fists clashed, each blow weaker than the last, yet neither yielding. The battle had become pure attrition, who would break first? With a desperate roar, Goku mustered one final punch. It connected, sending Vegeta crashing to the ground, unconscious. Silence fell. Goku staggered, his vision swimming. He'd pushed past every limit, but at what cost? As his knees buckled, he whispered, "It's over." But in the distance, a new energy flickered, something far worse approaching. The true climax was only beginning. The air crackled with energy as Goku stood battered but unbroken, his crimson aura flaring wildly around him. His muscles screamed under the strain of the 10x Kaioken, the power multiplier pushing his body beyond its limits. Across the battlefield, Frieza hovered with a sneer, his tail flicking in amusement. "Pathetic," the tyrant hissed, his voice dripping with malice. "Even with that cheap trick, you're still nothing compared to me." Goku's scouter flickered wildly, its display locking onto Frieza's monstrous power level, over 530,000. His own, amplified by the Kaioken, barely scraped 180,000. The numbers were against him, but numbers had never defined Goku. Blood trickled from his lip as he wiped it away, his eyes burning with defiance. "Maybe," he admitted, his voice steady despite the pain, "but I'm not fighting alone." A sudden surge of energy erupted behind him. Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan, battered but resolute, landed at his side. Their presence sent a ripple of unease through Frieza's forces. "You fools," Frieza scoffed, "do you really think this changes anything?" Piccolo's cape billowed as he stepped forward, his voice low and dangerous. "We don't need to win. We just need to make sure you lose." The battle erupted in a blur of motion. Goku lunged first, his fist cloaked in Kaioken energy, slamming into Frieza's gut with a shockwave that split the ground beneath them. Frieza staggered but retaliated with a vicious backhand, sending Goku skidding across the battlefield. Before the tyrant could press his advantage, Krillin and Gohan struck, a flurry of rapid ki blasts forcing Frieza to swerve midair. Piccolo seized the opening, charging a Mekanko in his palm. The spiraling energy beam lanced forward, grazing Frieza's shoulder and drawing the first blood from the tyrant. Frieza snarled, his composure cracking. "You insects." The fight escalated into a desperate symphony of strikes and counters. Goku pushed himself harder, his body protesting with every movement, but he refused to yield. The Kaioken strain threatened to tear him apart, but the faces of his fallen friends, Vegeta, Tien, Chaozu, flashed in his mind, fueling his resolve. Then came the defining moment. Frieza, enraged, unleashed a devastating death beam aimed straight at Gohan. Time seemed to slow. Goku saw the terror in his son's eyes, and something inside him snapped. With a roar that shook the heavens, Goku's aura exploded, his hair flickering gold for the briefest instant before settling back into crimson. But in that split second, his speed surpassed even Frieza's. He intercepted the beam, his hand closing around it, crushing the energy in his grip. Frieza's eyes widened. Impossible. Goku didn't hesitate. He channeled every ounce of his remaining strength into one final attack, a Kamehameha wave amplified by the Kaioken's full might. The beam tore through Frieza's defenses, engulfing him in a cataclysmic explosion. The shockwave sent debris flying, the very planet trembling beneath the force. When the dust settled, Frieza stood, barely. His armor was shattered, his body smoking. His lips curled into a snarl, but the fear in his eyes was unmistakable. "This isn't over," he spat. But it was. The battle had pushed Goku beyond his limits, unlocking a power he hadn't even known existed. The others watched in awe as his aura flickered again, this time stabilizing into a radiant gold. His hair spiked upward, his eyes turning an emerald green. The first Super Saiyan in a millennium had awakened. Frieza's reign ended that day. His empire crumbled, his forces scattered. The universe would never be the same. As Goku stood victorious, his friends gathered around him, their expressions a mix of exhaustion and hope. The fight had changed them all. Gohan had faced death and survived. Piccolo had fought alongside those he once despised. And Goku, now a legend reborn, understood that the true battle was only beginning. The stars above Namek burned brighter that night, as if heralding a new era. One where the Saiyan's strength would shape the fate of the cosmos itself.